All praises to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well. Shalom to the fair elect. I want to talk about numbers here, and in, in a previous video I did, I was talking about how Israel had the option to choose between Yahushai and Barabbas. Is it Barabbas? Well, when he was about to be sacrificed on the cross, they had between Yahushua and Barabbas, and they chose Barabbas. And Israel was doing the same thing again, and if it kind of fails the understanding of people that you actually do reap what you sow, and when you make a promise to the Lord, you better put your whole heart forth, because He will require what you've promised Him and what you said, so you do reap what you sow. I want to start here in Numbers chapter 11 verse 1. And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, and Yahweh heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burnt among them and consumed them, that they were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched. And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burnt among them. Because the Lord took them out of Egypt, when they were being plagued in Egypt. And I guarantee the people, Israel was in Egypt begging the Lord to take them out of Egypt. And here it is, the Lord has taken them out of Egypt and then promised them, a land overflowing with milk and honey. And they're complaining about it because, that's what Jake likes. Fast food. Jake wants it quick. He doesn't want to wait. He doesn't want to go through tribulation. He just wants it instantly. And this is chapter 4. And the mixed multitude that was among them felt a lusting, and the children of Israel also wept again, and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic, and now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all beside this manna before our eyes. In the same way that now, Jake is oppressed, but they're not looking at oppression. They're looking at the whips, their chains, the fact that you can just go pop another man's woman and you're not really judged by the society. They love this, this degenerate society. That's the spirit that Jake is in right now. And if you're trying to seek righteousness, it's going to vex you, because you can just see that these people are bugged out. But everything that's happening to them, they brought on themselves. Because, and I'm going to get into that, the Lord has given the elect and those that are hopeful elect a completely different spirit. So we seem adverse to this world. And because we're not of this world, we don't really care what goes on. I'm going to start at verse 19. Because they wanted something to eat, and the Lord was like, alright, cool, I'll give you something to eat. Verse 19, Numbers 11. Ye shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month, until it come out at your nostrils, and it be loathsome unto you, because that ye have despised the Lord which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Egypt? So, that's what the Lord basically said to them. And when the Lord then turned around and he said, I'm gonna give you all of this, Moses actually said unto the people, Moses actually said unto the Lord, the people among I am are 600,000 footmen, and thou hast said, I will give them flesh, that they may eat a whole month. Shall the flocks and the herds be slain for them to suffice them, or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them to suffice them? And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, is the Lord's hand waxed short? Thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass. So this is like, obviously that Moses was the Lord's friend. He spoke to him as a friend, but this is one of the reasons why Moses, was killed, because he was there questioning the Lord when he really shouldn't have. And Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and gathered the 70 men of the elders, because he asked for the Lord to put the spirit on them, because he couldn't handle him. He was saying, am I these people's keeper, that that they're vexing me all day and night? And the Lord did you know, the Lord did send them quails, you know, and I'm gonna start at that. And there went forth a wind from the Lord, and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the camp, as it were a day's journey on this side, as it were a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp. So, you know, you could walk a whole day, and all you saw was quail, and as it were 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth. And the people stood up all that day and all that night and all the next day, and they gathered the quails. He that gathered least among them gathered 10 homers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp. And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, was chewed, and the wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord smote the people with a very great plague. So this is what Israel wants. Let's see what Homer's definition, because I believe that's a definition of a measurement. Let's see if it comes up. A homer. Oh, it's not coming up. No. I believe is a homer is a unit of volume based by ancient Hebrew for liquids and dry goods. 1 homer equals 220 liters. So 2,220 liters, you know, of quail is what the least of them gathered. The homer should not be confused with the omer, which is a much smaller unit of dry measure. So, you know, Israel has always been, you know, a very vexing people unto the Lord. What does it say about Israel? I don't know. They're very self-willed people. That's what it is. A very self-willed people. And if you go into Numbers chapter 14, and all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron and the whole congregation, and said unto them, Would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness? So you got to think to themselves that they're with their wives and their children, and they're saying, you know, we wish we died in Egypt or in the wilderness. So again, the Lord's like, I bet, I got you. So see, Israel love to run off their mouth, and they don't actually understand that the Lord is their power, but they completely forsake that and seek unto Egypt, you know, because they want us to go back onto Egypt. And the same way that these people are oppressed, and they still want to, you know, grasp onto Egypt. They want to talk about friggin' Biden, you know. Oh, but Biden's going to make everything better. You know, you want Obama to come back into office. So this is the same spirit that Egypt was in. And if you read further, starting at chapter 6, should I? And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. So they had gone out, you know, 12 leaders of the tribes, heads of their houses, went out to seek out the land, and they saw the land. And Joshua, you know, and Caleb brought back a good report. You know, but the people were like, these people are too great for us, even though the Lord said he was with them. So Joshua and the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes, and they spake unto all the company of the children of Israel, saying, The land which we passed through to search it is an exceeding good land. If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land floweth with milk and honey. Only rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us. What's bread? You know, like how Jake in the world says, you know, I'm going to eat you, I'm going to eat him, you know. Their defense is departed from them, and the Lord is with us, fear them not. So the Lord was with them, taking them out of Egypt. And they're still rebelling because Israel is very self-willed, man. And if you carry on down the chapter and you get to chapter 24, it says, But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and have followed me fully, him will I bring into the land whereinto he went, and his seed shall possess it. So that's pretty much it. You know, the Lord said, you know, Caleb Caleb and Joshua, because they had a different spirit in them, you know, they were going to possess the land in the same way that they elect, you know, that they're representative of the elect at that time, you know, because he killed everybody else and he allowed them to go into the land. The same thing's going to happen now, you know, with the hopeful elect and the Lord's elect. They have a completely different spirit from these people that are out here, you know, that the hopeful elect, they want this place to crash and burn, but everybody else wants Egypt to continue. So it shows you that you are in a completely different spirit to these people, and it's just the Lord, you know, coming back doing the same thing. If you start at 26, and the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, How long shall I bear with this evil congregation which murmur against me? I have heard the murmurs of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me. Say unto them, As truly as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, as ye have spoken in mine ears, so will I do to you. And your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, which ye have murmured against me. Well, there you go, man. And if you go into 31, it says right here, But your little ones which ye have said should be a prey, them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised. Because, you know, Egypt was saying, you know, would we, God, have died in this wilderness? So, you know, in the same way, it's like Jake wanna die in this society, and the Lord's gonna, you know, he's gonna allow that to happen. He's gonna allow you to be slain in this society. Even those of the elect are gonna be slain. You know, even Moses, even though the Most High classed him as a friend, and he was meek above everybody on the earth. You know, even if you go to Numbers 12, chapter 3, you know, chapter 12, should I say, verse 3, and it says, Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. So you got to think, you know, the Most High held Moses in high regard, and even classed him as his friend. You know, he passed over his back, you know. And even he killed him before he was allowed to see the land. I mean, he was allowed to see it, but he wasn't allowed to go into the land, you know, because he saw it, and you know, the spirit left him when he saw the land. And that was the Most High's friend. He held him close to him. So if the Most High is willing to do that to Moses, you know, who the hell am I? Who the hell are you? Who the hell is anyone? You know, and people don't take it to heart that, you know, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. You know, he kills and he makes alive. People just think, you know, God is good and God is this and God is that, and they don't actually understand that he makes, you know, he makes peace and he makes war. So yeah, it's just the same thing happening over and over again, and you gotta understand that what's happening now, what's getting ready to happen now. These people are brought onto their own heads. You know, as I said, you know, put the blood on us and our children. You know, and they want to be attached to Egypt. They want this place to carry on, and this place is going down. So what's going to happen? You're going to go down with it, because that's what you wanted, because you wanted to be of this place. So when you're seeing people fall left or right, you know, and taking these vaccines, I know people who have seen videos of people having Bell's palsy, you know, talking about this vaccine is having adverse effects on people, and they'll go and they'll take the vaccine. So this is the spirit that Jake is in. You know, they know that it has adverse consequences, and they're still willing to take it because they trust in Egypt. They want to go back to Egypt. They want to stay in Egypt for as long as possible, because they want to eat, you know, fish and cucumbers, and they want to live fat. So when you see all of this stuff happening, you gotta not bat an eyelid, man, because these people brought it onto themselves, and this is what they want. You know, there's a song by Lil Durk or something. Is it Lil Durk? I don't even know. One of these rappers, and it says this ain't what you want, but this is what Israel wants. You know what I mean? So, you know, at the end of the day, the Lord is righteous. What you ask for, you will get. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of James who were well. Shalom to the elect.